What's going on, ladies and gents, and welcome back to a brand new video. This is Web Dev Journey, and today we're going to be implementing MySQL into our small application, Maxcoin. Now, for MySQL, we do need to do a couple of extra things because it's MySQL, right? You know how it is. So, without further ado, let's get right into it because it is going to take a while since we do need to implement a few more things. So we're going to say docker run. Don't worry about pulling the image. I'm going to skip that step because this is going to run it automatically. Let's name it MySQL SQL. And we're going to do a port. I'm going to map my I'm going to just do regular 4306 to the 3306. I'm just adding 1,000 to it. And then the only difference right here is that we do need to do a password for root. Okay, so I'm gonna just say MySQL underscore password, root underscore password. I'm gonna set that equal to whatever you want. I'm just say password. And we're going to say -d for detach, and we're going to be running the image called MySQL. And then we define it, we're going to pull it, and then we're going to just run it. Let's see if I'm right. And then if this is done for you, do a docker ps to see what's running. Okay, we have 3 things running: the SQL, Redis, and Mongo. Okay, now to actually connect to it, we're going to actually be using MySQL Workbench, and I don't have it right here, so Workbench, there it is right there. And now we'll have the in the description where to actually download this from. Okay, why didn't I pin to this taskbar? Okay, so once you get in here, you're gonna click this plus icon right here, and I'm just gonna say Maxcoin -MySQL, or I'm gonna just say Maxcoin. Just leave it like that, right? Or I'm gonna say MySQL. Screw it. SQL. We're gonna be changing the port to 4306. 3306 is the default port for MySQL. So, and let's put in the actual password. So click in store in vault, and then say spell it right, password. Click OK. Let's test connection first of all. It looks pretty good for me. It's successful right there. Let's click OK, and you should have a new right here. Double click on this. Click on server status, and you're going to see some results or some metrics of the health of your database. Right now, it's pretty healthy. I'm going to just click on this to get rid of that. And look at this. It just gives you some metrics on the health of your database, which we don't have anything, so it should be pretty healthy anyways. All right, so let's actually start doing stuff in this. Next, we gotta create some databases. So I'm gonna click on here, click on this one, so that way you get this side panel right here. And basically what we want to do is create a new schema, or basically a new database. So for that, you're gonna click this plus icon right here where it says the database, and it's gonna create a new schema. All right, and let's name this Max, I did that right, coin, and leave everything the same. Just say apply. And this is pretty cool. It gives you, if you're actually doing this or you want to learn how to do it, it'll give you the actual syntax to actually, if you're doing it on a command line, it'll tell you the syntax of like how to actually do it. So right here it tells you this is a syntax or the command that we're going to be writing doing. Create schema Maxcoin. So hit apply, and you should get a new database. And to see that database, all you have to do is click on this schemas tab right here, and there it is right there, Maxcoin. Let me get rid of some of these things right here. We don't need any of this. Okay, so in Maxcoin, like we gotta create a new table. So in tables, right click it, say create table, and we're gonna give our table a name. I'm gonna just say coin values, just like so. And we do need to give it some column names. So for the first one, I'm just going to say ID. And basically every time we say ID, it does auto check these, or some of these, where PK is primary key and NN is not null. You could just hover over these and see what it is, right? But yes, we want our ID to be our primary key, and we want that ID to also be not null. And we also want to auto increment. This AI is auto incremental. So what are we going to do? Every time we create a new item or a new coin value, is going to auto increment that ID. So it's going to start from 1 and then 2, 3, 4, 5. You get the point, right? All right, another thing we're going to be doing is called value date. Or you could just put in, oh, you can't put in date. Sorry, I was going to say, you can't put in date. And the reason why is because date is already a key word for MySQL. So you can't do that. So just put value date. And you could change this to whatever you want. And I'm just literally going to say, hey, it's going to be a date. And they do have a data type for that. It's going to be a date. And there is nothing right here that I want to do. We could leave it null if we wanted to. Or we could we're not going to auto argument, obviously. But we could leave it null, whatever. Another one is going to be the coin value. So coin value. And this is actually going to be a decimal, right? This is going to be a form. There it is right here, a decimal. And what I'm going to say is decimal. I'm going to put parentheses. And what I'm basically telling it right here is like, hey, we want it to be 16 digits long. And we want to split the decimal into 8. So basically this 8 right here is saying that, hey, there's going to be 8 in front of the decimal and then 8 trailing behind the decimal. Okay. So you could put 2 if you want to, or 4 right here, where it basically says that there's going to be 4 after the decimal, or 4 integers or decimal places, right? There's going to be 4 decimal places. So you can do whatever you want. Actually, let's leave it at 4. Let's just leave it at 4. And let's hit apply. And like I said, this will tell you how to do it if you're running it in a command line right there. Let's hit apply and finish. And then inside the tables, we should have coin values. Look at that. Pretty cool, right? All right. Now that we have our table set up, let's actually get into the code and start connecting to the SQL or to our database and actually putting in some stuff. So the first thing we need to do is an npm install, because we need to install a module that will help us connect to MySQL. And it's literally MySQL 2. And let's actually just up here, const MySQL is going to equal require MySQL 2 right there, and then done. Now let's go down here and let's actually implement it. So down here, I'm gonna create a const, and we're gonna create a connection variable. Connection, and we're gonna just set this to MySQL.connect. And we're going to give it some properties. So it's going to be in an object form. And this is going to say, hey, what's the host, port, user, password, database you want to use. So that's all in a object oriented. It's all going to be in an object. Okay, so our host is going to be localhost. Our port is going to be 4306. Our user, we're going to just use the root as our user. Make sure that's, if you create another user, then just put your user right there. Our password is going to be, I think I said password. And then last but not least, our database. What database are we going to be using? And we named it Maxcoin. That is it for that. Now let's actually connect to it. So connection dot connect. We're gonna have, if there is an error, And we always do this if error, just throw it out. So I'm just copy this, paste it down here, and then console dot log. Or actually, let's do the time first. We're gonna do time, and we're gonna say MySQL, and then log out something. Successfully connected to MySQL. And then we're going to do connection, terminate the connection once we do that. So connection dot end. Control save this, and then let's run it. Let's see if we actually did it. So node test. Hopefully everything goes well. And as you can see, I'm trying to find it. So this is Redis. Oh, there it is. Successfully connected to MySQL. This console log is very annoying. Where is that at? Okay, we should probably do this for every one of them then. So let's go to Redis and do that. So right here, connected to, or get rid of this and say Redis, and then over here my control save, and then let's run it one more time so we can see what's going on. Now let's just clear this. All right, now what we want to do is create a function to actually insert some stuff into MySQL SQL. And what we need is the connection. We're also going to need the data, and we're also going to need a callback CB for that. All right, so const, I must create a values in array, just an empty array for right now, because we're going to be pushing the stuff into that array. And then we're going to create a SQL statement. So I'm going to say SQL statement that's going to insert this stuff into the database. So insert into coin values. And what do we want to insert is basically the value date and coin values. And then values, all caps, and question marks. This is future web dev journey. I kind of made a mistake in my video, so I'm just redoing the video from this point, okay? So the SQL statement, this is an SQL statement, okay? And basically what we're saying in here is we want to insert into the table coin values. Remember, we created a table called coin values, and here are the fields that we have. And we do need to say the fields that we want to insert into, which is value date and coin value for right now. And also the values. What are the values that's going to be in here? Now, values, you do have to like write out the values the same way you have it listed right here. So the value date, we would have to put the value date first, and then the coin value, and then the coin value. And if you had anything else, like text, let's say, we would put the text later on. It has to be in corresponding to the actual way this is the structure of this is, right? The way this is 1, this is 2, so it has to be 1 and 2, right? So we're going to be entering the values in question mark. This question mark is basically saying we're going to be inserting the values later on, and we are over here, as you can see. But don't worry, I'll get into this question mark in a bit later. So next, what we need to do is actually loop through the objects array, or loop through the object, and the value, key pair, and all that stuff. We've done this so many times, and we're just pushing an array of the key and data, basically the date and the price, right? Or the coin value. So we're pushing that into an array. So this array is going to be an array of an array, an array of arrays, okay? So next stop, we need to do a connection.query, because we need to query that database or that table. Basically, we're going to be inserting it. the first parameter or argument is basically what do we want to do. So we want to insert this SQL statement, like we said. Okay, after that, we're gonna, if this was the case, check this out. If we wanted to insert hardcore or hard-coded in here, the values, we would do, I don't know, an array in here, and we would do the date 2020-06-02 or 03, let's say 03, whatever, 05, 03. And then the value of that will be 108.33. I don't know, right? So this is how you would actually do it one by one. This is what we're doing it in here. But since we have so many values, we just added that question mark right here. And what this would do is actually go through all those arrays inside of this array right here and insert those values in there instead of doing it one by one. So that's why we did the SQL statement with the question mark. Like I said, we are going to be adding the values later on, which we did, which is right here. And since they're arrays and arrays, their arrays is going to work out perfectly, right? So we're going to get a callback as well. So now let's actually put this function into practice down here. Obviously, we do need to do a fetch from API. This is pretty normal. We've done this so many times. And then we also do the insert MySQL, sending in the connection, the data, and we're going to get an error, results, or fields. Fields is basically this right here are fields, value, date, and coin value. Those are our fields, okay? So I simply just count the log successfully entered, and then just the amount of things that we actually entered. Docs into MySQL, and then our connection query is going to be, this is another SQL statement, but instead of actually putting it in a variable like we did up here, I just went ahead and just put it as the first argument. So basically, you can pretty much guess what we're doing right here. We're going to be selecting, this star means everything. We're going to be selecting everything from the table coin values, and we want to order it by coin value, which is the price. Remember the coin value, the field coin value. And we're going to be ordering it in descending order, and we only want to limit to one result coming back, which if it's in the descending order, that means that the highest is going to be, the first result is going to be the highest number, correct? So we just want to limit to one thing coming back, because we know that that one thing is going to be in the very top, which is 0, and we want to just grab one thing out of it, right? So after that, we're going to get an error, results, or fields back, and fields back. And I'm just throwing error right here. This is pretty much simple. And then count the log. MySQL max value is results, and it does come back as an array. So we do have to. We could actually do it this way. Look, I'm gonna just do a count the log right now. .log, and you're gonna see exactly how it comes back. So that way you can see why I did it this way. I'm gonna just say results. Okay, we'll get back to this once we actually print it out. Anyways, count the log, we're going to get the max value is, and this is how you get the max value, results 0.coin value, and it was reached on value date. Now, these are our fields. Don't forget that. So we're actually grabbing our fields, and then counsel.end time. So that way we can see the end time, and then terminating our connection. So let's run this right now, and let's see what we get. Okay, so let's see what we get down here. And I forgot to save it, that's why I'm not seeing it. So save that and then node test. And okay, here's our stuff right here. So our results, as you can see, it comes in an array. That's why we did that first value. Now, obviously this first value is 0, index 0. What we want to get in there is the first value is going to be text row. So coin value, which is right here, which is this right here, and value date. And as you can see, that is exactly what it's spitting out. I just wanted to see, the whole point of this right here is to see how it comes out. And this is how it comes out, okay? Results, and the results comes out as an array. And we're just grabbing the very first index of the array, which is right here. And since this is an object, we're just doing dot coin value right here, dot coin value. Pretty simple stuff, okay? And as you can see, we only got one result back. But yeah, we just enter this stuff into our database. Now, if I go back in here and click on here, or right here, and then click on this little icon, like it looks like a sheet, you'll see everything that we've done. Now, I ran this thing so many times that I have so many things in here, okay? But the thing to take notice is that it does not replace what you've had before. It just keeps on adding to that table. It does not replace it, okay? Just that's something that you do need to know, that it does not replace the values that you had in here. It's not like MongoDB, because we ran MongoDB so many times. Let me actually connect that. Connect. Let's go to Maxcoin, collections, value. And as you can see, we only have still, 50, because remember we got last month, and then by doing this every single day, we're going to get new values every single day. But as you can see, we don't have as nearly as much as what we did over here, which is 186 different data sets, right? Over here, we only have 50, okay? And they're all unique. I could tell you that much right now. This one's this is for 519. This is for 520. This is for 518, 17. There's that. Nope. See, 19, 20, 18, 17, 16. They're all different dates. Remember, every time we expanded this application per day, you know, so every day that we do this is going to add one more day into this. But my point is, like I said, it's not it doesn't. This one actually does replace everything inside of it, as you can see right now. The way it's because the way we have it, right? The way we set it up. But in MySQL, you literally have to tell it over here, and that should be a challenge. This is going to be a challenge. If you actually want this to actually, as you can see, it only does 31 results, okay? 31 results. So that should be your challenge. Find a way to actually drop everything from the database and then re-add it again. Obviously, what you want to do is, before this statement right here, what you're going to be doing is doing a connection query right here and just telling, hey, we want to drop everything from this table, which is the coin values. We want to drop everything from the coin values, so that way you start from scratch. But we didn't do that here because, well, I didn't want to do it, but that's a great challenge. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's a great challenge for you to actually do. But that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you understood what I was talking about, and I hope you liked it. So if you liked it, please leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for spending time watching this video. I know it means a lot to me, but thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.